Hi, everybody, and welcome to Unprompted, Unscripted, Unintelligent YouTube from yours truly. So it's been a while since I've done one of these. As you know, I was on the YouTube naughty step for a couple of weeks for the unspeakable crime of quoting some accurate UK medical information. And it's made me rethink my attitude to YouTube, really, because it's obvious that on this channel there are only some things we can talk about, and some of the biggest issues of the day cannot be spoken of lest we get a strike. So we're not going to play that game. I'm not going to play along with it. Hi, Andrew, by the way. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your support. It's much appreciated. But as always, I've been pretty active in the over the last couple of weeks. I do hope you're subscribing to my podcast channel, and I've also just started a new podcast channel, a separate one with my friend Alana Mercer, called Hard Truth. So do make sure if you pop over and check on any of my last couple of podcasts, you'll find the link and you can go there and listen to Alana and I discuss the issues of the day on a weekly basis. So I hope you will consider doing that. So there's that. Now, what else is there as I sit here swanning it in with the hi Lord Beaksky, good to see you. I'm sitting here in the sunlight. I'm sure the weather's probably nice where you are as well, but anyway, here I am. Can't be bothered going out into the crowds, into the hordes, you know, the mask wearing zombies. Can't be bothered with that. So I thought I'd chat to you instead. So here's something, as I said, being mindful of the fact of what I can talk about here. But I did a little podcast this morning called Pingdemic. Yeah, you should go and listen to it. But in essence, what I wanted to talk about was the fact that I think we've got vast numbers of people in this country who are isolating at the moment because they were pinged by the NHS track and or test and trace app. So this is causing great consternation. Excuse me. It is suggested that we could have, I think, 3 million people in self-isolation by the end of the month because they've been pinged by the NHS app. Well, there's a easy solution to stop this. Do make sure, hello Ms. Poshlife, do make sure that you don't have it on your phone. It's not a requirement, it's not legal, it's perfectly lawful not to have such an app on your phone. And one does have to ask questions about the technical capability of it. So anyway, it looks like factories are going to run short of staff. So we're going to have some real serious problems here in the UK if this tracking or test and trace app is allowed to run rampant. Hi Simon, lockdowns are coming home. Yeah, they are. Lockdowns are coming home. Well, essentially, the government is kind of bringing about an indirect lockdown, isn't it? If it can get several million people self-isolating in July, just think of what it's going to do when it gets to September. And we've had Chris Whitty, you know, the chief comedian, the chief medical officer, saying that he believes that it's possible that lockdowns could be back in about 5 weeks. As long as that, Chris? Gosh, you're such an optimist, aren't you? So it looks like the whole issue of freedom is a bit of a lark, really. And then what about those people who have gone to France? You may have seen in the press today that the government is now saying that because France apparently is infected with what they call the beta variant, but it was the South African variant, to the tune of 3.4% of the population. So a tiny number of French people have got this apparent variant. Because of that, even if you're double jabbed, you're going to have to isolate for 10 days when you come back to the UK. So that's on top of all the people that the NHS track and trace is forcing to isolate. You got all the people coming back from France. Double jabbed, no jab, doesn't matter. You're isolating for 10 days. And then there were all the young people who went to Ibiza, Mallorca, Menorca, the holiday islands in the Med. Well, they've just been put on the amber list. So if you're returning from those countries and you don't have a double vax, then I'm afraid you're going to have to isolate as well, apparently. So in this way, what the government is doing is it's bringing about de facto mass isolation at a time when the numbers are, shall we say, questionable. So I won't say anything more than that because of the nature of this toxic platform. But yeah, so here we are, Northern Hemisphere summer. And on a more general level, in the Northern Hemisphere summer, respiratory illnesses tend to fade away. That's been the lesson of, I don't know, 100 centuries. It's been a long time knowing that that's when they vanish. But this one's kind of different in a way, but I'm not sure just exactly how that can be. So okay, so I don't want to say any more about this because, as I say, this is such a treacherous platform. One other thing I wanted to mention to you was, did you see President Joe Biden, the most legitimate president that there's ever been? And I just want to make that absolutely clear. Joe Biden is the most legitimate president ever in the most legitimate election ever. Okay? I see he's been telling Facebook that they are killing people by allowing the spreading of medical misinformation on their sites. And we've seen the White House Secretary Jen Psaki essentially saying the same thing, and that the fact she was admitting that apparently the White House and senior operatives within the Biden regime, they are in regular contact with Twitter, Facebook and YouTube regarding content that may be misleading and medically misleading. So that encouraged me. I was so excited to read that. It's good to know that these freedom-loving platforms, cough, cough, are being spoken to directly by the Biden regime to make sure they don't allow things that the Biden regime doesn't like. Gosh, sounds a bit Cuban to me, that, isn't it? Doesn't it? You know, in Cuba they've closed down Tinternet to stop people getting beside themselves about that particular failed communist regime. Meanwhile, in the US, we have Biden and his gang telling Facebook, Twitter and YouTube that they need to start cutting down much more on speech and opinions that the White House doesn't like. So, wonder how that one makes you feel. So, folks, that's it. This is just a short, unscripted, as I say. Well, everything I do is unscripted. What am I saying? A short little. The sun is blinding me here, so I can't actually even see. So I will take my leave of you. Thank you very much for supporting me. Do make sure that, leaving YouTube to one side, you follow me on BitChute, on Rumble, on brand YouTube. On Podbean, on my podcast channel, on the new podcast channel with Alana Mercer. Follow me over in Telegram. Follow me everywhere that I can speak freely. If you do that, that would be the best thing of all. So thank you very much for spending this short time, this Saturday morning with me. Thank you very much.